Hi, I'm Jim Berggren, pastor at Holy Cross Lutheran Church in Houston, Texas. This is the sermon for the fourth Sunday of Epiphany, which falls on February 1st, 2026. It's Matthew 5, 1 through 12. The Beatitudes are a manifesto from Jesus to his disciples, and in Matthew, the opening lines of Jesus' first lengthy teaching sermon. His words are a descriptive state of the universe address. These words are indicative, not imperative. They are gospel, not law. His words are descriptive, and their tone is not a matter of you should be. Jesus doesn't operate out of scarcity. We don't have this, we don't have that, so we should be doing this or that. No, that's not him. He is the all fullness of everything. The proper tone for understanding Beatitudes is you are, therefore. If they were imperative, prescriptive, they would be humanly impossible. Jesus would be seeming to say, for a really good time, be poor and self-important and a hungry doormat. That's great. Instead, Jesus describes the normative nature of human struggle and sin and sorrow, and in the same sentence pronounces God's divine promise and protection for us in the midst of those difficult and uncertain times. It's gospel, not law. It's who we are and how we operate. Maybe it'll be helpful just to go over a little bit. Every condition mentioned is a precursor condition, anticipating the next thing, a more noble anticipation, the kingdom of heaven, which is described as a very near imminent condition. Blessed are the poor in spirit, literally short of breath. Think of the panic of asthma or emphysema here, COPD, among other fancy medical terms like chronic obstructive pulmonary. COPD just kind of stands for crushed and overwhelmed to the point of despair. At that point, the smallest kindness, CPR in the midst of life-threatening blockage. Appreciate it. God is the eternal pulmonologist who breathes the spirit of life into us with every creative breath. Blessed are those who mourn, lost and lonely, and they know it, and feel constantly a profound sense of emptiness. That is necessary for the appetite to reconnect, to go out of oneself, anticipate breathlessly God's gifts of new connections and relationships in different and better situations, new reliances on God and other people. Happy are those who are meek. Interesting, personal self-aggrandizement is not a blessing. It's not exactly meekness, it's more like a curse. In the spring of '88, I was asked by the graduating senior class of Eagle County High School in Gypsum, Colorado, to deliver a baccalaureate sermon for their graduation. I was so proud. I felt like this invitation was one of the truly significant moments of my ministry. Then one of the seniors, Carl, one of my confirmands, a brilliant young man, uh, I totally respected him. He told me the seniors had a way of picking out who the speaker was going to be. They got together in teams of two and picked out on Sunday a number of all the churches in Eagles Alley. Their purpose was to time the sermons. The pastor who gave the shortest sermon was chosen to deliver the graduation sermon. I won. So much for pride. Happy are those who are meek. They're in a tandem yoke with Jesus, harnessed under helpful control, not timid, but obedient and eager, even under duress or in a weakness. Meekness is strength of character, the ability to shut up and suit up and show up no matter how you feel. Faithfully keep on trucking. Meekness is a bridle on a strong and beautiful steed. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. You have to know about personal unrighteousness to do this. To have a deep and healthy sense of personal sin and personal responsibility, there is no going back to the Garden of Eden. There is no perfectibility. Those ideas are very popular these days in our secular culture, and they don't resemble any kind of biblical faith, unless, of course, you intend to promote the more dubious practices of idolatry and the magic of the Old Testament. Jesus doesn't put on a new coat of varnish over dry, rotted wood. He raises from the dead. Always search yourself. Don't try and justify yourself. It looks funny. You can't fill yourself up with happy at the gas station. But emptiness will invite spiritual sustenance. And the merciful are going to be happy too. They look like fools in an aggressive and competitive world. For the merciful, everyone else can get the right of way or the benefit of a doubt. Everyone would like to think they're always right, May even display papers and proofs. Look at this to back up their argument or fantasy. But seriously, it won't hurt you too badly if the guy in the hot rod Camaro who just cut into your lane to get ahead of you almost hit you. Be merciful. Maybe he's taken a sick child to the hospital. You don't know. Call it innocent until proven guilty. People, both friends and strangers, will do you wrong. It might be that their act was unintentional, and they're not even aware that anything had an effect on you. We assume we know the intentions of those with whom we interact, and I can assure you, we don't read minds. Very well, be kind and merciful. Is the right of way important enough to die for? Fulfilled and happy are the pure in heart, empty of personal agenda, to wish for one thing only, that God has his way. Focus, get clean, catharsis. God has a good plan. I don't. Knowing that, I will seek to impose my agenda on the world around me all the time. It's aggravating for me. When I graduated seminary, Bishop Wahlberg offered to present my name to a call to 3 different congregations. 2 were large and pretty successful, and they had big building programs going. The other was small and struggling on the north side of Houston. I asked him to put my name in there because I was afraid to tackle the building program in a first call. So much to learn. I was adamant about that no building program plan. 54 days into being a pastor, 54 days after arriving in that first parish here in Houston, Holy Trinity, on Saturday, August 23rd, 1975, half the church building burned down. I called the bishop from the convenience store next to the massage parlor across the street. There was probably panic in my voice. Phil, I'm at the payphone on Canino Road, watching firemen chop holes in the roof of my burning parish hall. There was silence on the other end of the line. And then the bishop calmly said, Bergie, there are 2 things I need to tell you. The first, I'm just indulging myself. I've always wanted to say this to someone and never the opportunity arose. And I know you can handle it. When I tell you, I'm sure your church isn't burning because of your fiery preaching. Okay, he said, I've got that off my chest. Secondly, more to the point, the next time you have a big plan, Bergie, be sure and let me know before you tell God about your plan, because I want to be there to watch. Purge yourself. And in that emptiness, God will fill up the things that need to be filled. Pray to God to give you your next best intuition or decision. Peacemakers always be happier, not fomenting controversy so as to enjoy the drama. Eric Berne, in his classic book, Games People Play, describes a sad little game that people play called Let's You and Him Fight. I, of course, wouldn't fight. I'd just be an observer then. Those who disarm gossip instead of passing it along would be happier, not addicted to adrenaline, and yet not glossing over the call to honest, authentic interactions, adjusting to prevailing conditions, adapters. Those who make war are by definition those who refuse to negotiate, adjust, or adapt. You'll be blessed also if you're persecuted for righteousness' sake, not just any persecution. Persecution when you're standing up for fairness and getting hammered, which you obviously believe. Today we say you're getting canceled, being disrespected because of your point of view or your way of seeing the world and finding meaning in it. You can expect maybe slander, personal attacks, ad hominem statements. I love ad hominem statements. Most everybody on the TV, no matter what side they're on, uses them. They're basically along the lines of, I disagree with you because you're ugly, or I disagree with you because you're stupid, or because, put a name on it, because you're phobophobic, whatever that is, fear of fear. So what? Rejoice. You know whose you are, and therefore you should know who you are. And the results are, you're the salt of the world. You will flavor the world around you. People need you to help their lives be at least palatable, if not kind of exciting and zesty. Like salt, if you weren't here, your absence would be obvious. You're the light of the world. You can provide hope for those who are lost in their own dark night. You can be a happy point for someone in their otherwise miserable day. Only takes a tiny candle to make darkness disappear. This text isn't about how to be happy. It's how to empty yourself so happy can come in. This is not forcing life, it's accepting it. And it just gets better as the text in Matthew moves in escalating increments. Jesus speaks, he starts with blessed. Happy or centered, that's the sense of serenity in the midst of calamity. Calm acceptance. In the late boomer culture of today, blessed might be more easy to understand as that extremely cool. Extremely cool are the poor in spirit, the mourners, the meek, the hungry, the merciful, the disingenuous, the peacemakers, and the persecuted. Extremely cool in two ways. They can handle whatever life throws at them, and we admire their grace under pressure. Extremely cool is a stance toward life. It's a way to be. It's ontological is the big word, the science of being. It's not a feeling. It's not an activity. That comes later. Because Jesus follows up with rejoice. First, blessed. You are extremely cool. Now rejoice and be glad. Rejoice is where the feeling of blessing is shared. It's not the condition of life. You got that. If you're blessed, you can't help sharing that. Then everyone who enjoys life will share and be glad. Outward gratitude, enjoy and share, and then celebrate in worship and service. It's a cascading holy trinity of blessedness. We're alive and find joy in all circumstances. We are together to share that life in all circumstances. We celebrate God who gave us these gifts in worship together in any circumstance. In God's regard of us, we're blessed with ontology, we have being, sociology, we're in community, doxology, we worship, or simply, blessed are you who enjoy life, share life, and celebrate life with holy gratitude. Amen.